Welcome to Den in Denim. This is a predictions video for the upcoming Levi's vintage clothing catalog, Spring-Summer 2023. It's the big 150. This year will be the biggest celebration of Levi's ever. I'm sure the company has lots of celebrated parties planned. I'm sure there are going to be some rollouts along the premium lines, but this episode is all about what the Levi's vintage clothing LVC line will be doing in the upcoming catalog. Let me start by just giving a huge shout out to my Patreon peeps. They get to see these videos early. If I get any pictures of the new items leaked beforehand, I will post them on the Patreon page. You guys help me out a lot. Thank you. Now, the last time we got an Old West 19th century items was Fall-Winter 2017. And they were highlighting the 1880s Nevadas and the triple pleat blouse in those years. I've done a long retrospective of that video already. Watch it commercial free on the channel. Even when they do an Old West style, they still release 20th century classic items. So you'll still be able to find some of the years like 47s, 55s readily available. But they're also going to release a lot of classic items. The best example I think we can see from what they're going to do comes from 10 years ago. What did they do for the 140th anniversary? And they had a couple themes going. They did have an Old West thing going called Miners, and one for women, Miner's Daughter. From the casting information for this upcoming catalog, we can see that they're doing the Miner's Wife, more similar to what they did 5 years ago than the younger look of 10 years ago. They had a Hot Rod Classic collection from the 50s, and they still released a lot of different items throughout the 20th century. Now, if they are crazy, then they might drop dead stock for every 501 year they have. Over the last few years at least. You might not see something like 1927s, but if there's any 1922s lying around, they'll pull those up. They should have 1915s they can pull up. 1901s, probably a little too old, but possible. Definitely you'll be able to see 37s, 44s, but they won't be highlighted. Oh, I'm guessing we're going to see a lot of 47s, 55s, maybe 1890s. Expect classic stuff that the majority of fans want, plus a few novelty historic items for the celebration. I'm hoping for the earliest of the earliest. I want to fetch me some duck pants and Henleys. We have a new Vault item called the Shane. It's an 1899 sack coat. The Vault Archives did a video about this a few months ago. This could be a recreated item that they're going to do, maybe a rigid, maybe a distressed version. We will almost definitely see a pair of 1873 First Blue jeans. Now, there might be an additional historic year, such as an 1879, the oldest Vault item, XX, or 1878 Pantaloons, maybe 1918 Homer Campbell's, or just some new year that they haven't done yet. I expect them to launch about 5 or more limited edition items this season. Things I don't expect to see are 501s from 1900 to 1944. I can say I have seen a glimpse or two of the new items, and there are some kind of overalls with a bib and brace. The new catalog should be released sometime at the end of January. We'll see a few items trickle out. Some people will get the lookbooks. The theme that I know for certain, because they've already cast it, and we're looking for these characters, but it takes place in 1870, 1871. There's a Mr. Strauss character. There's a Jacob Davis character. It's all about them meeting. What items we'll be able to have based on the way that they dress, that's what will be interesting to see. I hope to do a full review of the catalog and the lookbook, the items. Really get things going for the next few months, building up what we can. As far as with the channel, I hope you've enjoyed the new microphone. As far as what to see, I will be doing a lot of the 501 videos. If you want to be a model for any of the particular years that I haven't done yet, then hit me up. I'm looking for a few models, a couple of the letters, if you have for some of these rarer years. I will be doing a live stream on May 20th. At least one. I'm not sure if I will be in a location yet. Possibly in the Butenheim at the museum. But again, this is the year when this should be just the most awesome time for Levi's, for this channel. And then in the following year, we'll, start to phase away from Levi's everything. As far as what's going on with the future of the LBC collection, the company intends to keep some kind of historical items going on, whether they be special order cinches on your Lot 1s, or if they're just rebranding the LVC line as something else, but to have historic items. So, no definitive yes or no, but if you want something, then this is really your chance to get it. Otherwise, I'm sure it's not going to be the hardest thing to find online. Some items are, though. I have no definitive word yet. There's no definitive no, it's not happening. Until I see that there is going to be another catalog for the next year, then I'm still a little skeptical. But it's sounding like they are going to keep at least some of the historic items. A smaller LBC line would be welcomed, I'll be honest with you. There's a lot of items I think they're spending money on that I don't think they need. I think it's actually just wasting a lot of resources instead of just making what they already have. They already have these certain jeans that people want. Keep making those jeans. Make a few shirts. Make a couple jackets every year. You don't need to go crazy with advertising. You don't need to go crazy with the whole theme of it. I enjoy the lookbooks. I enjoy some of the new items. But there's also a lot of stuff that I think it's just wasting the money on if they're complaining about money. If that's the bottom line, make some of these historic years of jeans. And this is the year when I'm really hoping to get my duck pants. I know that there won't be any made in America items. I'm hoping that most of the stuff is made in Japan and that they're not using Turkey for anything at this point. But there still should be some items they're probably making in Turkey. Expect the majority of the jeans to be made of distressed ones to probably be made in Bulgaria, Romania, and maybe a few in Turkey. Expect the rigids to be made in Japan, really hoping for that. As far as like duck pants and 1873 first pants, what's different about these versus what they released 25 years ago? Well, this is the 150th anniversary instead of the 125th anniversary. I know that number doesn't sound like much, but that is one of the differences. I do think that while they can't make anything in America now, my 1873 first blue jeans from 25 years ago are a little historically inaccurate. I think they can really fix that up, make them more historically accurate, but make them in Japan. I'm Dan. Thanks for watching my videos. Thanks for subscribing. I'm Dan. Thanks for watching Den and Denim. Love your jeans.